Alright guys, we're back with Project LT250r Part 3, and for this introduction, there is none. Let's get started. Alright, today we're pretty much just going to pick up where we left off. I'm going to install the front bumper, the exhaust system, some hand controls, and then potentially the fenders. I've also got a couple other parts that I picked up. I got these white grips I'm going to replace the black grips with, and these are actually kind of cool. They kind of look like the OEM Suzuki with the rectangular little pattern there. These are bright white. They're gonna match the radiator hoses and the A-arms and swing arm and stuff really good. They're probably gonna last about a half of a ride, and then they're gonna look like crap. But, oh well, they're gonna match the build right out of the gate, and I guess that's all I'm going for right now. There's that, and I gotta wire up this spark plug boot, and then it's probably a couple other handful of things that I'm forgetting about, but that's the gist of it. Let's get going. If you guys remember from part 2 of Project LT250R, I've got this very clustered front end here that I've got to try to install the bumper on today. To do so, I'm going to have to loosen these remote reservoirs and then slide the bumper in there and then just see if it'll all fit together. What sucks is these bikes are also supposed to have these radiator scoops here, these air scoops that go in the frame right there. They mount right to that screw. You're looking through the eyelet of that hole, right at that screw. They mount to that and they go in there and they just help suck air up to the radiator to increase airflow to the radiator. I don't know how I'm gonna get that on there. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to trim it or do something, but I'll keep you posted on what comes with that.
Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah.
All right, so I got the Duncan front bumper installed and it looks really awesome. This area is a little clustered, but I was able to fit everything in. I was able to fit the plastic air scoop, I was able to fit the remote reservoirs, and obviously the bumper on. I cut back my hose clamps just to one on each side. These ones are plenty strong, and I don't actually have a second place to put a hose clamp on each reservoir other than like up here, and the frame looks great. I don't want to jack up the frame a bunch, and I think it's just kind of unnecessary. I think they'll be fine. They're not gonna go anywhere. The air scoop actually acts as another one of these little rubber buffers I was putting in just to protect things. The plastic air scoop actually worked perfect as one of those. So I just have, instead of having 2 of these in there now, I just use the air scoop and then this. But yeah, it looks just awesome out there. I love these bumpers. Another thing I was going to mention is that on 250 quad racers, the front bumpers have these like U-mounts where they kind of just like surround the frame and kind of just hug it. And you need to make sure on your front bumpers, whether it's a Duncan or even a factory bumper or any aftermarket bumper, they all mount the same. Make sure you've got a spacer in between the prongs on the U-clamp or whatever it's called. If you don't have that, you will inevitably tighten this bolt way too tight, and you'll end up pinching these 2 clamps together, and it just puts wear and tear on the either the steel or the aluminum of your bumper, and it can scratch up your frame a bunch, and it's a real pain in the butt. There's supposed to be a spacer that prevents the clamp from coming in on itself, but yeah, just try to get those spacers if you're ever putting the bumpers on. I'm about to install the hand grips, and if you guys are going to run a thumb throttle, you got to make sure that when you order your hand grips, you get the same inner diameter ID of that hole. That will make sure that it is a tight fit on your handlebars. Twist throttles have the sleeve that goes over the bar here, and it's a little bit bigger. And so your grip on the throttle side needs to be a little bit bigger on a dirt bike or on a twist throttle if you're gonna run one on an ATV. Make sure that you specify whether it is the same inner diameter or a twist throttle different diameter, where one will be a certain diameter and then the other will be a larger diameter. And then when you install hand grips, make sure that you're using a grip glue, or this is grip lock that I'm about to use. I know this is about the most rundown, looks like a tube of toothpaste. It's at its very end, but I got a little bit left. I should have enough to hopefully finish both these hand grips, because then I am completely out and I gotta order more. But putting this on not only helps you lubricate as you put the hand grip on, but then it also dries up and locks it in there to where it won't rotate on you as you are riding.
Let's all take a ride. Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone.
All right, so I was able to get the hand grips installed. I actually dirtied them up just in the process. You can see like they got a little dirt on them already just because my hands were dirty when I installed them. So they're not gonna last long clean, but oh well, they look kind of cool. They look really 90s. I don't know, I feel like kind of like skater era, something about them just looks kind of cool. I'm about to install the thumb throttle, and I got an aftermarket one on its way. But for now, I'm gonna put the OEM one on. You can see they've got a, when I got this bike, it had this nice little thumb throttle extender on it that was zip tied on, is the way you install it, I guess. One thing I was gonna tell you guys is that when you are putting, I'm about to run my throttle cable, which is just hanging right there, about to run it up and then run it through the thumb throttle casing and everything. And you see this little, I think it's called a cable barrel. It goes on the end of your throttle cable, right, well, shoot, my throttle is in there, but anyways, there's a little ball that's like right in there, and it's just the tip of your cable, and it goes inside of the little groove on that cable barrel. But that's a part that you guys, it's very likely you're missing it, and you've got a lot of slop in your thumb throttle because of it. That's what makes the a tight fit. The throttle barrel goes inside of that right there, and you might be missing it. You should pull your thumb throttle off and check to see if you're missing it, because I've seen so many bikes that are missing it.
Savannah,
Just thought I'd show you that I'm actually using my medical pliers to install the tip of the throttle cable into the throttle harness. I actually use it now on both ends of the throttle cable, in the carburetor and then up here. So yeah, I would definitely recommend getting a set of these pliers. I'm going to go up here with the throttle cable, route it in there, and then because my medical pliers are holding the extra slack for me, I can put my throttle barrel on my throttle cable, and then I can install the whole thing into there.
birds have just begun. We will always take a stand for the people, for the land.
This is kind of cool to look at. All these billet aluminum parts, anodized blue, are just really gonna set this thing off. I'm running these are for the brake lines. I gotta install really quick on the A-arms, and they kind of just hold the brake lines in place and away from the A-arms so they don't scrape on anything. These levers, I don't recommend actually. These are not ASV levers. I got these years ago. I didn't know much about them. They were only like $30, which is great because you get, you know, $200 looking levers for like $30, but the fitment is awful. On the brake side especially, like you can already see, I kind of had to sand down some of this aluminum there to try to get it to fit, and I still got a long ways to go. You'll see me wrestling with that, but the fitment's awful. And then I can never for the life of me get this little Delrin or whatever plastic this is for the clutch side. I can never get it to tighten down. and it'll always, no matter how tight you tighten it, it'll always rotate on you a little bit. So those are something that is going to go on this bike though, because I got them, and I'm going to make them work. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend them. If you get the money, I would go for the true ASV levers. I don't even know how. I think these are from China or something. I don't even know how they're allowed to use the ASV logo. But one thing I was going to tell you guys is this channel has got nothing but positivity behind it. I don't think I've gotten to date one dislike on a video, which is really awesome. I'm sure that eventually I'll get a handful of dislikes from some Honda and Yamaha guys, which kind of sucks because I actually love all brands of bikes, but so far I've just been a big Suzuki guy. But this channel has been nothing but positivity, and I love it. And because of that, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, I will do a gas cap giveaway. This is an awesome blue billet gas cap, and I think it's like $100 piece. You can see all the awesome CNC marks and stuff in it. Obviously, this was CNC'd into a shape, and then it was anodized blue, and then it was further CNC'd. So you got your exposed billet bits of it too. But this is a pretty universal cap, should fit any bike that you've got, Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, Kawasaki, even you got a Ducati or something, should fit it. And yeah, guys, this channel, again, I'm just blown away with the positivity and enthusiasm behind all these builds. This just shows that the ATV community is just so freaking awesome. And I just love all the support and all the comments and messages I've been getting. They're just awesome. So yeah, guys, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, you will get your chance to win a billet gas cap. I just thought I'd share with you how satisfying opening these things up are. These things are just, they're not even that expensive. I can't remember how much they were, but they are just so cool, and they really are the nice little bits to set your bike off. But these things are just, the camera doesn't do it any justice. These things are just obviously perfect. This is like cling wrap, just to make sure that they don't get scratched or dirtied in the process, in the shipping process. But yeah, these things are just super awesome. They match the bike perfect, and they're gonna go right about there, just right about now.
Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah, the beauty of the world. Savannah, let's all take a walk. Savannah.
All right, I think Project LT250r is ready to be dropped to the ground. I'm really excited about this. I got the brake line holders in place. I got them mounted up. They look awesome, and I can't for the life of me get that brake lever to mount today, the front brake lever, so that'll just have to be another time. I've got a lot of filing to do on that, unfortunately. Again, that was the Chinese levers. They're super cheap, but they come at a price. If you get the money, go ahead and just get the actual ASV levers. I just got this thing dropped on the ground, and geez, it has got a killer stance to it. It is low and super wide, and it just looks like it's ready to rock. This thing is just so freaking cool. Every time I do anything with this thing, I'm just like, oh my gosh, that is so good looking. Let me know what you guys think about these white hand grips. I kind of went out on a limb there. It's probably a bad decision because they're going to be brown after, like I said, a couple rides. But man, this is just looking crazy. So yeah, I'm going to throw the exhaust on really quick, and then probably the fenders. And then I unfortunately don't think we're going to get to start it today. I am out of time. I only had like an hour and a half to work today, and I'm almost past that limit. So anyways, I'm just going to keep flying here and see how far I can get. I forgot just how massive these FTZ pipes are. This thing is absolutely gigantic. I think it's bigger than the expansion chamber that might end up on Project LT250r. This thing is absolutely insane. It's gigantic and it should make quite a bit of power. It should be pretty awesome. But man, that thing is just huge. And it's one of the only 250 exhausts I've ever seen that actually doesn't come out through here. It actually comes out through here, which is just kind of a jumbled mess. There's actually a dent in the silencer intentionally, just to clear the A-arm when it's at full extension. But man, this thing is just gigantic. Unfortunately, I actually found a little bit of a problem. On the 3rd gen 250 quad racer, this air box doesn't allow for the silencer to run between the frame and the air box. Whereas if you look at a 1st and 2nd gen 250 quad racer air box, there's a little divot in the air box where the silencer tube can run. And on this 3rd gen, I'm not seeing that. So if I ran it on the outside here, the silencer is just way out in no man's land, and I don't like that. I want it to be tucked up tight, and I want it to be able to use this little bracket here is actually supposed to mount right there where that bolt's at. So it really needs to come in a bunch. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do, but I've got one little hiccup to deal with. Not a big deal. I might be able to go ahead and just get a 3rd gen silencer to pair with this FTZ expansion chamber or header pipe. Yeah, I'll keep you posted on that. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but doesn't really matter. I'm running this pipe one way or another, so we will maybe we'll run it without a silencer. How about that? Give me a like if you want me to run it without a silencer.
Savannah, I'm coming home. Savannah, we'll never be alone. Savannah.
So I just threw the fenders on the last part of today just to show you guys basically what this thing's gonna look like. I've been so anxious to see this, and maybe you guys have been too. Oh my gosh, look at this quad. This is insane. This thing looks so freaking good. These colors just go together so well, and oh man, this thing is just crazy. I cannot wait to get this thing going and ride this thing, see how it performs. I just can't get over this thing. It's ridiculous. There's so many little things I still got to do though. I don't have any time to button up the spark plug boot, take care of that brake lever. I mean, I didn't even run the clutch cable or anything yet. There's just a handful of things I got to do. Chain, case saver, silencer, like I just talked to you guys about. There's still quite a bit to do, but man, check this thing out.
Savannah, I'm coming home.
I really want to give a special thanks to DDR Slap. You can find him on Facebook. He is the guy that has totally taken over reproduction decals for so many different bikes. I got all these decals from DDR Slap, and they are incredible. They are a little thicker than the OEMs, which is great for durability. Woods riding and tree branches and everything will not tear these things up. They are just incredible color quality and print quality. These fenders are dusty, but like the quality of these decals are just incredible. Everything looks so awesome. I can't say enough about DDR Slap. He's got everything. I know over the years, we've done everything we could to help him stock up his inventory of everything from the 250 quad racers to the 230 quad sports of all years, all the warning decals, the shift labels, the fuel oil mixture ratio decals. He's got them all. So if you guys want any reproduction decals for your bike, contact DDR Slap on Facebook, and you will be very, very impressed with his work. That's it for today, guys. I don't even need to talk anymore about this thing. Just look at this thing.
Savannah,
3 of project LT250r. I hope you guys are digging this as much as I am. If you are, like, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, share it. I've gotten a bunch of messages like, hey, I shared this with my dad, my brother. It totally motivated them to get their build going. It's just been a box of parts for years, all that kind of stuff. That's part of the reason behind this channel, is to motivate, to educate, to entertain. So if you guys are liking what you're seeing, then do all those things, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah guys, until next time.
Savannah, I'm coming home, Savannah. We'll never be alone, Savannah. The beauty of the world, Savannah. Let's all take a walk, Savannah.